guys, I'm Alex Gum. Welcome to another Pokemon Go video. It is the end of the year, and we have played so many events in 2025. There were some really great events, and there were some terrible ones. So I decided to wrap this year up by just listing out the best and the worst in different categories, whether it's community days, raid days, etc. So before we do that, if you are brand new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't hit the notification bell, make sure you do so that you could be one of the first to check out these kind of Pokemon Go videos. And let us know in the comments below which Pokemon Go event was your favorite and which one was your least favorite. We're gonna go ahead and list out the best and the worst community day of 2025. Before we list out the best and the worst, I should also let you guys know we are excluding Community Day Classics because those are repeats, and December Community Day because was the exact same thing as every single year. It's a recap, so I don't think that should count. So that leaves with 11. So which ones out of the 11 was the best and which one was the worst? I think, in my opinion, the worst Community Day of 2025 was definitely Flabébé Community Day. I know a lot of you guys are gonna say Vanillite, and I agree, but I thought this was way worse because of one major factor. They did not make Flabébé available in every single region, which means like a few regional forms of Flabébé were locked, so you can't shiny hunt for a certain flower color, which is really stupid. I think they should all be accessible because it's just a 3-hour period. Like, why not? And in my opinion, the best community day of 2025 was a community day that we have never seen before. Carablast and Shelmet Community Day. This is the first ever community day where they have two different species of Pokemon conjoined under the spotlight of a 3-hour event. And this was actually great because in the past, when we had Global Go Fest of 2022, the shinies were released, but they were really hard to find because back then the shiny odds were really bad. And ever since then, they were super hard to shiny hunt for, at least for a majority of trainers. So despite the fact they've been shiny before, they were super hard. This is a great window of opportunity for trainers to get the shinies, and then they could just trade and cause zero candy. And yes, this was about a couple weeks before the event in LA and Taipei, but the spawns were not existent. They were only featured in 5-kilometer eggs, so I thought this was a really great calm day to participate for. And I hope we get to see more community days where two different species of Pokemon could be in the spotlight that are not regional variants. And now we're going to list out the best and worst raid day of 2025. This is based off of performance quality in terms of technical issues. Was it moving smoothly? Were people getting kicked out? Were the shiny odds good? Were the raid bosses themselves really good that they would get a lot of trainers out there to participate? Well, there was one raid day that really stuck up to me and most trainers, and this was arguably one of the best raid days of the year, in my opinion. And that is Mega Metagross Raid Day. This was the best and most anticipated Mega Evolution of the year, and everybody was getting shiny Metagross. Like, it was nostalgic to get shiny Beldum, but getting shiny Metagross was even better. And there were no issues with the service, there were no issues with raid distributions, no one was getting kicked out, it was smooth. But there was a couple that didn't run smoothly. And there was one that had potential of being the best raid day of 2025, but because of some hiccups, it was considered the worst of the year. And that was Origin Raid Day. You know it's really bad to start off by saying that the exclusive moves were not guaranteed, which is crazy. I understand there are Avenger effects that are like OP, but like, still, it's a slap in the face. The shiny odds were probably the worst because they actually admit they forgot to turn on the shiny feature and they screwed up. I mean, if you had shinies, you had at least like one, and it probably didn't learn War of Time or Spatial Red. It's so stupid. And then they gave us a compensation research where you get a guaranteed shiny encounter, but the amount you get depends on how much you rate it for. And after trainers noticed how the raid day was not functioning well, they decided, let's not do any raids. and then that's how they get like 3 or 4 encounters instead of like a ton. So I don't know, it was just kind of unfair. It was kind of like, and even if you get a shiny, it doesn't guarantee a special move. Like, it was not well planned out, and the expectations were flushed down the toilet. The next category is going to be called weekend events. I have decided to exclude calm days and raid days just to combine a good amount of types of weekend events that trainers participated for or not, and whether these events had good impressions or not. So we're talking about max battle days, research days, hatch days, etc. The worst of all weekend events, in my opinion, was definitely Catch Mastery Archon. This could have been better. We could have included Tortuga, since that's like the fossil Pokemon counterpart. And also the shiny odds were not that good. And I don't know, 80 encounters and getting like 3 shinies was not on my bingo card. If it was gonna be shiny boosted, could you at least boost the shiny odds from the research? Like, I don't understand. It was not well performed, and I thought it was the worst. And then when it comes to the best weekend event, it's actually a max battle day. And this was actually a historic one because of an update. And that was Gigantamax Machamp Max Battle Day. This was the first max battle day that trainers could battle a Gigantamax Pokemon remotely. That was a huge deal, because back then, it was so difficult to get at least 20, let alone 40, to like come out and do these battles. So the fact that we were able to remote, that solved a lot of problems. Also, Gigantamax Machamp was one of the best fighting type Gigantamax Pokemon. And then of course, timing, because it was scheduled the day after Machop Community Day Classic, where the bonus is 3 times Catch Stardust. And then of course, it wouldn't hurt to scrap up some more candy so that you could just use those sources to power up your best Gigantamax Machamp. I thought this was well planned out, and it was a really great impression moving forward for trainers to do max battle days moving forward. And then the next category is general events. These are like your typical events that happen weekly, or at least for a long or short period of time. And we have decided to rank the ones that were the best and the worst. And yeah, I gotta say, it was kind of 50-50 this year because of some technical issues, lack of shiny distributions. Maybe they just made one little hiccup and didn't make up for it. Or maybe there were just some that just did not flat out perform well, to the point where people decided to skip out on. So I thought the worst Pokemon Go event of 2025 was the Pokemon Legends ZA Celebration event. Let's be honest, y'all were on your Switches playing Legends ZA instead of playing Pokemon Go. And it was for a really good reason, because this event had nothing. I mean, there was zero spawns. There was only a time research where you only choose 1 starter, and that's it? Oh, these are the starters, here you go. No, that was garbage. And this was really hard to decide which event was so good, because we had some Pokemon spawns that were shiny boosted, we had some features and updates, and after going through all of them, I have decided to pick this event, which was an Ultra Unlock of 2025. The best in-game general event in Pokemon Go 2025 was the Hisui Celebration event. Number 1, Hisui and Zorua debuting was something I did not expect, and it was so good of a spawn they brought it back for Halloween this year. It was incredible. Also, shiny boosted Hisuian forms like Quillfish and Voltorb. That was really exciting to see. 4 times XP and 4 times Stardust for catching Pokemon. Those are OP bonuses. We don't ever get that much XP and Stardust from a single catch. Like, community days give us 3 times catch Stardust or XP. And this was like a, what, 5-6 day event? So you were banging. And on top of that, to add a little cherry on top, space-time anomaly spawns. Like, every 1 or 2 hours, we get different spawns. And we would see like Scizor and Gengar and other cool spawns. And I thought this was a nice little mix of different things going on. And finally, we are going to rank every global event we had this year. The 4 events were the Unova Tour Global, we had Go Fest Global, we have Go Fest Max Finale, and we had the Go Wild Area Global. We are going to just rank them all in dead last place. It was obviously the Max Finale event. I am so sorry. That's how many Candy and Candy XL for Eternatus. Not to mention we only get one encounter. And yeah, there was a lot of max battles, but dang, they were not cheap at all. Honestly, to me, I feel so bad for myself and for my wallet for even doing this event. It was bad. In third place was Unova Tour Global. This was a free event, which was awesome, but at the same time, sometimes it's better to include a ticket because if you don't get a ticket, you can't guarantee shiny odds and other quirks. You only get that stuff if you actually bought a ticket, if you went to LA or Taipei and you did play the events and you got some stuff. I mean, yes, shiny Deerling was boosted and Pikachu with a costume was boosted, but man, the underperformance was very underwhelming, especially the raids for Kyurem were definitely not hitting the mark. And coming at second place was Global Go Fest. Everybody loves Go Fest. Like, it's one of those things that come around every single year. Obviously, my experience in person was a lot better, but trainers were still getting shinies. Everyone was having a blast, and they did get those Crown Shield and Crown Sword forms of Zacian and Zamazenta, which definitely broke the meta in PvP and for max battles and even raids. Like, they made them very multi-useful. Like, it's really awesome. But the number one was obviously Global Wild Area. Guys, we got some Pokemon debuts that were shiny and dex entries that were so good. The Infinite Blind, I thought that was secretly shiny boosted. Like, that was crazy. We got Gigantamax Grimmsnarl. We actually got a shiny the week before Global from a remote? Excuse me? We got some shiny debuts like Shiny Unknown W and Shiny Hatena, which were announced, and we actually got a good amount. Mighty Pokemon were back, and we actually got more Mighty Pokemon that were shiny comparing to last year, because last year we only got one. Then can we talk about Shiny Tinkatink? That was a surprise shiny release. So if you were hatching eggs, you were considered lucky if you got a shiny. I only got a shiny Tinkatink from a research task to hatch an egg. So yeah, there was a lot of other surprises, and this was only the second time we had Go Wild Area, and I hope the third one comes around next year and it's just as much as a banger as the one we had last month. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we're ranking. Honestly, man, overall, we had really great events. We had some shiny boosted Pokemon, we had some surprise Pokemon debuts, new shinies, which I was really happy to get a few. Man, if you saw my shorts of some shiny highlights, that was awesome. Okay, and let me be honest, I'm not a costume fanatic, but there were some costume Pokemon that were bangers. Psyduck with the tube, Sudowoodo with the Christmas tree. Man, there were some really good events. And then the ones that were really bad, you could tell they were really, really bad. We had some major updates, like the level 80 was probably the #1 update. And then, of course, we also got the idea of doing remotes for shadow raids and max battles, which was something that we all needed. So there were some banger updates this year. I was really happy with all the results and everything. I got to meet up with content creators like Pokemon UK and Trainer Club and Alexa and JT Valor, all in New York during Go Fest. It was a blast. And guys, I hope 2026 is the year that we really, really buckle in and get some good stuff, because it is the 10th anniversary after all. And I'm hoping to go to Chicago Go Fest in June. It's not confirmed yet. I'm trying to straighten some things out, but I would love to go there, and we'll see what happens. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for being supportive over the years, and we'll hope to see you guys in 2026. Peace out!